What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. This is going to be one of the most requested videos I've ever had. So we had the Game Week 18 free hit video, and the video today is going to be the Game Week 18 wildcard video. So as I said on the free hit video, I'm not going to be playing the free hit, and I'm also not going to be playing the wildcard. But I know a huge amount of you are looking to play your wildcard in Game Week 18, and with it being a blank game week followed by a double game week, obviously you want to put a lot more thought into it than normal. So what I've done is I've used a wild card as if I was going to use it, and I've put the team together, and we'll have a chat about that. So before I even put the team together, what I wanted to do is talk about the strategy. So first of all, with the wild card, what's different to a free hit is you're not just picking it for one game week. So you need to make sure that the team you pick in your wild card is going to be a team you're happy with for at least 3 to 4 weeks, because you're not going to be able to make 5 or 6 changes the week after. You want to make sure that this team can comfortably navigate the next couple of game weeks. So that's in the back of my mind. And the way you kind of determine that is looking at the fixtures. So teams like Man United, Man City, West Ham, there's a few teams in there that have pretty nice fixtures over the next 6. And those are players we want to try and target. Now, luckily for us, some of those teams, they've got the blank game week and the double game week. So I've highlighted those teams here. So you can see that we're really going to target Man United, Man City and Aston Villa, because as well as them having 3 fixtures over the next 2 game weeks, which is essential for us, they've also got the nicer fixtures afterwards. And we'll build around those 3 teams. So with that in mind, let's look at the team I've put together. So we'll start at the back. So looking at what I've actually done, so I've actually made 10 transfers from my current team, which is quite a lot, which again, it's kind of making me think maybe I should be considering a wild card if I want to make this many changes. But as I say, I'm fairly sure I'm not going to. But if I did, it'd be 10 transfers, leaving me 1.2 million in the bank. And what that'll allow is, you'll notice I've got no Liverpool players in this team. It'll allow us to eventually upgrade to one of them if we need. Luckily for us, Liverpool have not been playing very well. Salah's now blanked 3 games in a row. So it's actually a lot easier to plan this team without Liverpool based on current form. So our defence then, or our goalkeepers, Martinez, the no-brainer of the season. He's got the most points for a goalkeeper in the game this season, by quite a few as well. Villa defensively this season look amazing. They're a completely different team to what they were last season. And yeah, Martinez, I've got him in my team at the moment, and he's not going to leave my team anytime soon. So obviously he's going to make my wildcard. The backup keeper then. So most of the regular viewers will know I'm not a big fan of having a backup keeper generally, but we're in a season where games are getting cancelled because of COVID, so a playing bench is more important than ever. So for the wildcard team, I've decided to go for a playing bench. So Meslier for me at 4.6 is the one to take it. He's got the most saves this season, 67, which usually just results in save points and bonus points. So if you're not going to keep a clean sheet, which Leeds don't keep a huge amount of, although they do keep some, you want to make sure you're getting players that are going to get you 1 or 2 points a game in save points. So he's already got 67, and to put that in context, Martinez only has 52. So he's got like 15 more than Martinez, who for me is the best keeper in the league this season. So that's the back line. Obviously, Martinez will play in Game Week 18 because he's got a game and Meslier hasn't, but they've both got double game weeks afterwards. I'd be tempted to play Meslier in the double game week because, again, he's just got easier fixtures. Defense then. So as I said at the beginning, we're really going to focus on the Manchester teams. Man United, they've hit some form. It's out of nowhere, but we can't argue with the form. They've also got the easiest fixtures of any of the 20 teams in the Premier League. Their next 8 is the easiest. So trebling up on Man United, you're not going to get a better chance to do it, and that's what I would definitely do if I had a wild card. So Wan-Bissaka's the one defender that's made it in. He's nailed on, so he's definitely going to play. I think he's only been rested once in the last 15 game weeks, 90 minutes every time. Just a goal and an assist, so he's not the best creative defender, but for his price, we're happy enough with that, and he's had 4 clean sheets. But as I say, we're really targeting the fact United have great fixtures and are on a great run. We'd expect most of their players, including Wan-Bissaka, to really step up the points because of that. And he's also playing the single and the double game week. Tierney then. So obviously he's not playing a double game week, but he's playing one fixture in the double game week. But we've got him because he's going to be playing the blank game week. So what we can do is we can rotate him with Cresswell for the double game week and have 4 playing defenders in the double game week if we need it. But for the time being, Tierney on his own merit. Arsenal are looking a lot better the last few weeks. Defensively, it's like a brand new team. Conceding less goals. The defenders are getting, obviously, more up the pitch. You saw Tierney attacking returns there in the last game. And, yeah, Tierney's, I think, to me, he's their most attacking defender. He's, in my opinion, as well, one of their best defenders. And he's nailed on. So, 5.4 million. He's definitely making my wildcard team. Then we've got the City duo, Cancelo and Diaz. Both nailed on, both pretty much guaranteed 90 minutes every week. Cancelo, as we talked about on the live stream, 3.8 expected assists already. So he's only got 1 assist all season, but he has been robbed by the rest of his team. Like, he looks like he's getting a couple of assists a game. He's creating all the chances. The most XG for any defender by, like, a long while. I think he's, like, 1x assist above the next defender, which I think is Robertson. City also have good fixtures, so I know they conceded that last second goal against Chelsea, but that shouldn't put you off getting their defence. Like, they really do look a good outfit the last few weeks when it comes to defence. So for me, if I had the option of doubling up on defence or doubling on their attack, I'm doubling on the defence and putting the budget in the attack somewhere else. So yeah, that's Cancelo and Diaz, both nailed on, both in the team. They play game week 18 and they'll play the double game week in 19 as well. So for our backline, we've got 4 players playing the double game week and 4 players playing the blank, which is, again, what we're trying to do with this wildcard. Midfield then. So no surprises, I think, for most of this. Jack Grealish, 55 chances created this season. The highest in the league. 10 more than Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has only created 45. So that just gives you an idea of how good Grealish has been. And once Barkley's back in the team and Grealish can play in the front 3, the chances are going to increase. There's going to be more XG, more expected assists, and his points should go up. So I think Aston Villa have been quite wasteful in front of goal this last month. So the likes of Grealish, Watkins, they're really not getting as many points as they potentially should have got. Yeah, so that's Kevin Grealish. Kevin De Grealish, Jack Grealish. I've actually just realised I didn't talk about Cresswell in defence. So just to flick back to him, he's already got 6 assists this season. Absolutely insane return for a West Ham defender. West Ham look quite good. He plays the double game week against 2 relatively easy teams. So having a West Ham defender, whether it be him or Soufal, Balbuena, whoever you think is nailed on, is definitely going to be a good shout for the double game week. So Cresswell would definitely make my my wildcard team. So back to the midfield. Yeah, so Grealish would play the blank game week and then the double game week as well. You could potentially rest him for the double game week because he's got tricky enough fixtures. But we've got 4 other players that are going to play the double game week, beginning with Rashford. So like we said already, him and Bruno, the next 8 game weeks, fantastic fixtures. It's just full of green fixtures. Like, have a look. And it's really tough to resist the United assets at the moment. Rashford's excellently priced, 9.6 million. Fernandes is arguably excellently priced as well. I think he's tipped to about 11.1 now. The main difference is just penalties, right? Fernandes creates a lot of chances. Rashford gets more shots away. So, like, they're much for much in terms of how important they are as far as I'm concerned. The reason Fernandes is a better asset is because he's got a lot of free kicks and obviously all the penalties. But we're really confident Rashford and Fernandes will both get a lot of goals and assists over the next 8 game weeks. So I'll be playing them if I had them in the blank game week and the double game week. It'd be an absolute no-brainer for me. Kevin De Bruyne as well, absolute no-brainer. It's going to be the phrase of this video, absolute no-brainer, because De Bruyne, he's everything City they're involved in. Like the game against Chelsea, he was playing up front. Like, that's hilarious. Kevin De Bruyne playing number 9. Got himself the attacking returns, which the owners were chuffed with. And he's coming up with some easy fixtures now in the next few weeks. So City assets, you've got to have them. He's going to play the blank game week against Brighton. And then obviously the double game week, he's going to be nailed on. For me, he's going to be my triple captain. That's how confident I am of him. Finally, Rafinha. 5.5 million. It's almost impossible to have 5 expensive assets in midfield. So for my budget, it's going to be between Souček and Rafinha. If you say to me you want Souček, I'm not going to argue that. But if I had a wild card, I'd go Rafinha. Absolute bargain for his price. His stats are not amazing over the season because he didn't play the whole season, but he's nailed on right now. Leeds are scoring goals. They're creating chances. They're the attacking team of the season. So to have Rafinha in midfield at 5.5, again, no brainer. If you haven't got Souček, it's going to be him or Harrison. So Leeds have the easiest double game week, arguably. So you want to have at least one, maybe two of their assets. Finally then, or before we go to the strikers, just like I did with the defence, you've got Grealish, Rashford, Fernandes, De Bruyne playing the blank game week, and then you've got all 5 of them playing the double. So you can alternate, you can even use your bench boost. You've got that many double game weeks going. Strikers then, no surprise here. We've stuck to the budget ones. Calvert-Lewandowski, as much as I love him, he's not on form at the moment. Everton aren't scoring huge amounts of goals, and he's no longer that cheap. Like, you're looking at spending 7.8, 7.9 million on him. So I think there's better options out there. Starting with Watkins, 7th highest XG for strikers. Now, that might be, like, you might be shocked if you're an owner because he's not getting many returns, but he's been so close to, like, multiple goals the last few games. I just think he needs to get a bit of luck. Like, Villa are playing really well. They're creating a ton of chances. And where I said Jack Grealish was robbed for the amount of assists he should have, it's mainly because Watkins has been ways for like a couple of inches either side. He'd have had a hatful of goals. I think once he gets a goal or two, his confidence is going to go up. And then he might just find all these shots, instead of going just wide, might just creep in. So for me, 6.1 million, still a real bargain for him. And he's obviously playing the blank and the double game week. Wilson then, so he's got a higher XG than Watkins, 6th highest XG in the game for strikers, 6.5 million. He's missed a Newcastle this season. He's on the penalties. He's looking to try and take free kicks. He's involved in absolutely everything. And for his price, he's scoring goals. Now, your one risk is that, like, maybe Newcastle are not going to get enough goals to justify having him. So what I'd say is keep him for the blank game week because he's got a relatively easy fixture. And you can look to offload him. You can change him to an Adams or you can change him to a Rodrigo. Really, we're just targeting the blank game week with Wilson. He might not be a long-term hold. And finally, Patrick Bamford, 2nd highest XG in the league for strikers. In fact, 2nd highest XG in the league among all players. Scoring almost every week. When he doesn't score, he gets assists. Somehow I've managed to avoid having him in my team this entire season, which is obviously costing me. But if I had a wild card, he'd be straight in. He's got the easiest double game week, in my opinion. And a lot of people are going to be captaining him. So yeah, that's the wild card. And that's who I go for. So obviously in the blank game week, you'd use Watkins and Wilson. The double game week, you'd use Watkins and Bamford. So you just rotate them that way. So what you're looking at on paper here is 11 players that will play a blank game week and 12 players who will play a double. So if you're using your wild card, you want to make sure to minimum that's the kind of combination you've got, because you want to make sure that essentially over the next 2 game weeks, you have 33 players. So obviously 3 lots of fixtures. So tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. This last week has been crazy for views on videos. Really, really amazing support. And I'm happy to do them. So if you've got any more requests for videos, I'm happy to have a look. Otherwise, I'll have my team reveal up in the next day or two. And yeah, we'll probably do a stream for the deadline in the week. So again, drop your comments. I try and respond to as many as I can. And yeah, best of luck if you're choosing to use your wildcard.